is the XeroFriction Machine Company? What is the XeroFriction Machine Company? The XeroFriction Machine Company is not a company, not in any ordinary sense. There is no product catalog, no building you may tour, no receptionist to greet you with a plastic smile and a stack of brochures. It issues no tax forms, pays no dividends, and yet it operates fiercely, quietly, precisely. The XeroFriction Machine Company is at its core a philosophical initiative disguised as an engineering myth. It is a resistance cell, a metaphysical lab, a gilded dissidents who long ago realized that the war we are in is not fought with bullets, but with pressure, with silence, with compromise, with language. The enemy, the one that goes unspoken, the geometry of control, that subtle design hidden within our calendars, our contracts, our sentences, our greetings. It is a system so efficient that it can bind the soul without a single visible change. So the company was formed not with great fanfare, or with the whisper of our recognition. If a system of control can be engineered, then so can a system of release, a frictionless machine. Not one that eliminates resistance in the name of speed or efficiency, but one that reclaims the soul from its compulsory grind. Friction, after all, is not always the problem, but the wrong friction at the wrong place at the wrong time. That is enslavement. We are not here to eliminate all difficulty. We are here to distinguish between necessary difficulty and false burdens, to untangle the knots that were tied only so that you would your days untying them. The company works by re-engineering the internal conditions of a human life, such that the person may move through the world without being silently bent by it. It is a workshop for spiritual counter mechanics, where most machines reduce the workload of the body. The machines we study reduce the burden on the will, not by making choices easier, but by removing those options which were never yours to begin with. Illusions, phantoms, baited paths, gone. This is what we mean by zero friction. Not a life of ease, but a life cleared of invisible drag. How do we build these machines? We begin with fragments, not nuts and bolts, but true straight statements. Mysterious utterances, sentences that arrived long before their meanings were known. The writer who serves as field operative, archivist, and heretic gathers these fragments, puts ink to paper, distributes them by hand. These are our prototypes, early drafts of escape modules. Each fragment is a component. Some fragments soothe, others disrupt, but all carry within them some tension meant to reveal the war. For example, how to build a death machine before a death machine builds you. That is not a slogan, that is a blueprint, a clue to the untrained mind. It may sound cryptic, dark, dramatic, but to the engineer of freedom it is plain instruction. Build your death consciously, or you will inherit one built by accident. Practice dying well, or be killed poorly. The company trains its members in the craft of such perception, to see through language, to find where the weight is hidden, where meaning has been engineered, the wound where beauty is coded and static, and above all, to design otherwise. You might ask, who is the enemy exactly? The enemy is not a government, not a religion, not a party. The enemy is a certain design logic, a logic that prefers uniformity to nuance, submission to question, transaction to encounter. The enemy is not one man's idea, but an entire schema of automated coercion. It lives in the interfaces, in the default settings, in the smile you are required to wear, and the language you are permitted to use. It lives in friction, but the kind of friction that doesn't polish you into clarity, but grinds you into compliance. So, the XeroFriction Machine Company builds its machines in response, devices to awaken and to wire, devices to restore interior velocity. Sometimes these take the form of a phrase, sometimes a rhythm, sometimes a silence that cannot be filled. We develop shields, counter languages, sound disruptors, mental armor, thought patterns that jam the control grid. Emotional stabilizers made not of chemicals, but of courage. And yes, sometimes something as humble as a good pair of, or a fragment of music at the right hour of the night, can serve as a machine if it restores contact with the true motion of the soul. Do we claim to save people? No, salvation is a compromise word. We claim to resist, to diagnose, to reveal, to repair what the world calls broken. company works by remapping, by giving you your own voice back, by reassigning meaning to gestures the system thought it owned. Something as humble as a good fragment or a piece of music at the right hour of the night can serve as a machine if it restores contact with the true motion of the soul. Do we claim to save people? No, salvation is a compromised word. We claim to resist, to diagnose, to reveal, to repair what the world calls broken. We may call intact what the world calls success. We may regard as a broken man standing very straight. The geometry of control works by mapping you, pinning you, marking your voice, assigning you a role. The company works by remapping, by giving you your own voice back, by reassigning meaning to gestures the system thought it on. We teach how to walk into a room and not yield, how to carry your name like a sovereign, how to leave a conversation before your truth has been bartered for politeness, and if need be, how to vanish without leaving your soul behind. Some think we are paranoid, that is fine. The paranoid know the architecture, but we are not merely afraid. We are alert, we are not trying to be safe. We are trying to be free. We do not recruit, we do not advertise, we do not correct your posture or offer a morning routine. Our presence in your life may be felt as a disruption or refusal, a sudden clarity that hurts, or a silence where noise used to be. That is us. We are the thing that does not bend. The XeroFriction machine company is for those who remember how it felt to be alone and unfooled, who remember being a child and not yet agreeing, who remember the moment they chose quiet over applause, and who know that freedom is not offered, it is designed. So ask not what the company does, ask what it undoes, ask what it sees when it looks at the geometry of a hallway, a handshake, a holiday. Ask what it sees when it listens to your voice as you recite the phrases you were taught to say. Ask it what time it is and it may answer. Time to leave, time to shed, time to build something with no handles on the outside. What is the XeroFriction machine company? It is the refusal to grind your soul into the gears of a world that runs on borrowed light. It is a company in the old sense, those who walk together under a shared fire. It is not here to help you fit in, it is here to see if you are still alive. And if you are, welcome, there is work to do.